Does your smoker door look like this? Rusty? Terrible? Let's get that fixed. Make it look like this. Before we get started, let me head inside and show you what tools you're going to need and the parts that I bought from the big box store so you know exactly what you need to pick up.
Well, starting with the paint, this is from Rust-Oleum. It's a high heat, up to 2,000 degrees. Stainless 3/8 16 by 6 inch bolt. This is for the handle. Stainless 3/8 16 nylon lock nut, and that's for the stainless bolt. I got zinc nylon lock nuts for the grade 8 bolts that are for the door, which are these right here. Now, you don't have to get grade 8 bolts or stainless if you don't want. You got a 9/16 wrench and ratchet to tighten things down. I'm using a metal grinding polishing wheel, also known as a flap disc, metal cutoff wheel, and a bi-metal sawzall blade.
Okay, so I've resituated the grill such that the door is pushed against the stop all the way open, so I have a nice surface. I'm just going to get all of this down to a nice clean finish, something that's prepped and ready for paint. Here we go. When it comes to the door plate, the one that slides here, I've already got it cut off, right? So if you don't have a C-clamp, this is what I'm going to do. I just clamped it to the door so I have a way to hold it and I can grind this down. Okay, we're to the front of the door now. I think what I'm going to do, I want to put a little bit of space in between the door. So I'm just going to take this handle like that and push it up against there so I have something flat and firm to push against. I'm not going to go into the actual fire pit itself. I'm just going to do the door. Tell you what, this ain't no joke. Make sure you got your mental game ready if you're going to get into this. I'm going to spray this and we're going to give it probably an hour minimum. Make sure that it's dry before we move on with the rest of the process. Okay, so it's been 2 days since I've been able to finish this project. So here we are again, rain delays. I actually have put, I think, 3 or 4 coats on both sides of this door and let that dry. And I ended up making myself a template here out of cardboard. Well, because I couldn't stand the difference in color. The color between the door and what this was, and I honestly have tried to get the blotchiness from the spray paint to not be the way it is, but I cannot get it to lay out flat, and I'm not going to go buy paint to brush on. All right, got all my hardware. So I think what we'll start with is the sliding door, and then we'll put the handle back on. Now, my thought was, because these nylon nuts, the inside of the locking nut is nylon, I'm going to actually put the nylon nut on the outside. Now, I know it's not as pretty if the hex head bolt was on the outside. I don't know. I guess we'll see. But I'm going to start with the bolts from the inside, closer to the fire. I just put that door on backwards. I did buy a stainless washer for this outside, so it gives it a flatter profile up against the spring and the head of the bolt. So on the spring side, this is the 6-inch stainless bolt. Now, I'll get a closer shot, but right here, I've got a washer with another regular nut, not a nylon nut, but a regular one on this side, so that it's got a little bit of tension here, and it's able to push against that door and hold it tight. And then on the back side here is the nylon nut. Okay, so you don't want to tighten these down all the way. You want to leave just a little bit of play so that you're able to open and close that vent door easily. All right, so as promised, as you can see down in here, there's that nut that keeps the spring outside of this notch so that it can open and close. So I'm going to do this the same. I'm going to have the nylon nut on the outside. So I'm doing my grade 8 bolt with a stainless washer. The factory did have a washer in between these two. I think that was to get a little bit of spacing. So I'll follow suit. Go ahead and put the handle back on. Another washer. And nylon nut. And this also is not intended to be tight. I'm wondering if I'm going to have to get just a little bit longer bolt. This was also a 1-inch long grade A bolt. Let's see what we got here. I won't be able to put much. Maybe just that much. Oh, okay. Yeah, it doesn't need to be tight. It has just enough to make that work. It doesn't necessarily need to fling around, so I suppose this is fine. I think it looks pretty good.